A leaked memo from Senator Bernie Sanders' office indicates that he has not ruled out running for president in 2024, but there is a caveat. There is a caveat. So what did the memo say? In the event of an open 2024 Democratic presidential primary, Senator Sanders has not ruled out another run for president, so we advise that you answer any questions about 2024 with that in mind, says the memo from Faiz Shakir, a close Sanders advisor who was his campaign manager when he ran in 2020. It seems pretty clear that Senator Sanders is not looking to run if Biden is seeking reelection. And so far, based on what we shared with you recently on the show, it does look like Biden is planning to run for reelection.
Well, he's saying he will run.
He's saying that.
Statements that are made about whether you will run or that you're not gonna run mean nothing. I mean, almost anything said in politics means nothing, but that especially means nothing.
True, but okay, so we don't know what's really gonna happen. Bernie is very complimentary toward Biden. So I do believe that he means what he's saying here, or what this memo is saying. I don't think that he would run in a primary against Biden.
I tend to agree,
Yeah, but let's just say, for the sake of this discussion, Bernie ends up running, okay? Look, let's be real, he's 80 years old now. He would be 82 in 2024. Is this a good idea?
I mean, look, obviously, we went through the experience of 2016 and 2020, great deal of baked in affection. Gotta say though, maybe this makes me the bad guy. Kind of think maybe it's time for new blood. Pete Buttigieg is really the wave of the future. And I just think that having that perspective, I'm joking, obviously. No, look, if he runs, obviously I'm gonna support him.
Yeah.
We agree with him on most issues, a lot of issues. I have concerns, and if I were to really focus down and weigh the pros and cons and everything, is it possible that there are other candidates that I would place before him? Potentially, yeah. I mean, and that's not to take away anything of what he's contributed over the last decade to the progressive movement, or even the likelihood that the people I might rank before him wouldn't be here were it not for him. And if he's the candidate, yeah, let's do this again. But what do you think?
I'm gonna be honest with the audience, I don't know how I feel about it yet. And that's not to say that I don't support Bernie Sanders. Obviously I do. He has the right policy agenda. He has fought for the right things for the entirety of his career. I think that, I really do wish that he was younger, and more importantly, that we did have a larger pool of true progressives to pick from, to support.
I think we have a good pool.
Yeah, look, I don't know that we do. So look, I think that there are some good progressives in Congress, but we also, no, definitely not Buttigieg. But let's Buttigieg is a joke. So let's move on from that immediately. No, but I have one person in mind that I actually think would stand a decent chance.
Against who?
Against even a Republican.
Oh, you mean were they to be the nominee?
Were they to be a nominee, right?
Throw them at us.
I think Katie Porter would be a decent option. And the reason why I say that is because she has managed to fight for the same policies that we want without being as divisive as some of the other progressive lawmakers have been. And by the way, whether it's fair or not, I think that the other progressive lawmakers have been targeted by the right wing in a way that's incredibly unfair to them. But whether we like it or not, let's say AOC decided to run, I don't think she would win. I just don't.
Okay, I think that's enough of your smears.
I knew you had AOC in mind.
If you gotta be realistic. Shut up right now.
But Katie Porter, Katie Porter has done it. She's representing. Okay, it's more of a purple district at this point, but it used to be a solid red district in California.
Okay, here's a hypothetical for you though.
Okay, ready for it.
To respond to you differentiating Katie Porter from the others. I don't believe that in the right-wing movement there is much magic. I think there is one magic trick though. Do you know that with a snap of their fingers, were she to become the nominee, she would become Katie Porter, devoted Antifa super soldier and commie. I mean, she's not divisive, until they decide that she is and they go all in attacking her. I agree with you. There's less baked in hatred for her, but do I care about those who have baked in hatred for like AOC? They were never gonna vote for any Democrat.
I think Katie Porter is more disciplined than other progressives in Congress.
I think that Katie Porter has done a very good job. I like a lot of her stances. So look, and again, if she was the candidate, first of all, if I had to choose her over quite a few other Democrats, yes, I'd go in on that. I would choose her over like just randomly choose a Democrat, obviously, over a lot of them, including many who are definitely trying to position themselves to run in 2024. I assume though that were we to dig into the specifics, we would find more points of disagreement with her than a number of the other progressives.
Sure.
That's my suspicion.
Listen, my number one concern is what are we gonna do to decouple interests within the financial industry from Congress, basically. And she's very hyper-focused and disciplined on that issue, and that's a message that resonates across, listen, it's a message that resonates across the board, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican voter, right? And so that appeals to me about her. I'm sure, look, she's representing a purple district. I'm sure there are things in her record that I wouldn't love. But when it comes to that substantive policy issue, I think she'd be great. I love that this Bernie Sanders story turned into a story about Katie Porter. But the reason why is because let's keep it real. It's just, okay, now I know how I feel about it.
Okay.
Listen, if it was between Bernie Sanders and some generic Democrat in the primary, obviously I'm gonna vote for him and support him. So I don't want anyone to think I would act otherwise. But I'm also realistic about the fact that Homeboy's 80 and he'd be 82 and
82 is the new 67.
I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure it is. Like the Democratic Party needs to get its act together and it needs to help to promote and more importantly, help mentor like young progressive lawmakers.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, that would be great. I think that would objectively be in the best interest of the party in terms of raising the odds of them winning, and they have no interest in that whatsoever. They don't want to do that.
No, they don't. They don't want to step aside.
They want more Buttigieg's. That's what they want. They want more people who see all of this based on, okay, so I'm gonna run for this office and then that office, that office. Okay, so I have to become a lobbyist for 4 years and then I'll meet some consultants. And then that's what they want. They don't want committed people. They like to dismantle committed people. Buttigieg, if you rewind far enough, apparently had some values a very, very long time ago, and those were scoured out of him. And he's not even the worst of all the people that'll likely be running in that race. But I do think there is some talent. Look, if Bernie runs, when we say we'll vote for, you just
want AOC to run.
Okay, that's
all you're thinking about. He's like,
you are the only person at this table that is thinking that, or at least saying it.
Literally, anyone who's familiar with you knows what you're thinking.
I am to here with it right now with you. So anyway, when we say that if Bernie runs, we will vote for him and support him, understand that when I'll only speak for myself, feel free to jump on. When I say support, I don't mean like, okay, we're gonna I'm gonna support him. That's what I'm gonna do. That'll be the thing. But yeah, look, if I had to support one candidate, I think that one of the most dynamic, best communicating, representative, like you were talking about Katie Porter on those particular issues in terms of checking corporations and everything. I would argue right alongside her in that area, AOC does a hell of a job.
I knew it.
Does she not? This isn't about me. This is about America.
She's moved away from that a little bit. Not
I don't know that she has. I think that in some of the testimony, it's not making headline news anymore. But if you're someone who obsessively searches every day, you find it. No, I'm kidding. No, she's been doing some great questions. Again, like the stuff that's driving the news agenda, I don't think it's focusing on it as much, but consider it.
Okay.
Let's have a contested primary. Let's have debates with multiple progressives up there. How unique would that be as an experience?
Listen, I have nothing against AOC.
Kind of seems like you do though.
The one area where I think, I just think she needs more experience, to be honest, because
running for president, great experience.
Okay, I want a fighter. Okay, I want someone. Listen, I'm not. Hold on. Let me just give you a specific example of what I'm talking about. And I don't think that this is because she's a bad person. I think that this is more an experience issue, okay? So for instance, when Congress was voting on an additional package of military funding for Israel on top of the tens of billions of dollars that were already allocated for Israel. Remember that?
Vaguely. Hold on, I'm actively blocking out the area that you're talking. Okay, no, I don't.
She wanted to vote no. Okay, and that was the correct vote. And then she got pressured by the corporate Democrats.
This is the sort of purity politics.
No, it's not purity politics. Hold on, it's not purity politics, okay? The reason why I had an issue with that wasn't even necessarily allocating additional funding for Israel, although that was bad enough, right? She voted present at the end of the day instead of voting no.
Okay,
it showed me that she's not confident enough to basically give the corporate Democrats the middle finger and say, no, I'm not.
I mean, it's evidence. It's evidence. I don't think it's like, well, now we're done.
That was a really bad decision on her part, but
sure, yeah, and not the only one, I'm sure.
I think that she
took down an establishment, a powerful establishment Democrat, something many other progressives, as good as they are, have never had to do, and not just in a contested primary, an open primary. She took down an incumbent. She knows how to fight against those particular people, and that's what we need as a candidate.
She does. My point is, she's susceptible to corporate Democrats pressuring her to do things that she doesn't want to do. That's what I'm saying. I know you don't like hearing it, but it's the truth.
I think that is a position.
And I want her to have more experience. Let me finish my point, John.
I would prefer to.
I have never heard, like he's never interrupted me more.
I am much more comfortable with this argument if you get out as few of your thoughts as possible.
Well, that is clear. That is clear, and you have succeeded.
Continue.
No, my point is she has the capability of being a fighter who is not pressured into casting votes that she doesn't want to cast. That's the point that I'm trying to make. She needs to get more comfortable leaning into that power. And I think that that could build over time. That's all I'm saying. Katie Porter she gives this, I don't know, for me at least, she gives this like personality, or she has this characteristic of like, no, I'm gonna steamroll you and I don't care. And I like seeing that, so I wanna see more of that. And look, I could be wrong. This is just my analysis of the situation. We wanna hear what you think, so write in.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward
I like Katie Porter.
Yeah, no, but not as much as AOC apparently. So
yeah, okay, that's news. We're breaking news here. Anyway, yeah. Look, I think AOC, in terms of the point about discipline, I think AOC, at least in terms of social media, picking fights and all that, has been much more disciplined over the past year.
Agreed.
I think, and there are cons to that. I think that her ability to help determine the agenda has been somewhat hamstrung by the fact that she's less vocal and everything. I also think that there has been a running thread of erasure of dark horse candidate Tulsi Gabbard, the true choice for all progressives. I think it's weird that you're not acknowledging that.
She went along with the right-wing smear tactic of calling anyone who fights on behalf of the LGBTQ community like groomers and stuff. That's who she is. That's who she's always been. But I don't even want to waste our time talking about that clown. But I hear what you're saying. Look, my point is, some of these more freshman progressives need more experience. They need to settle into and lean into their power, and I think that they can do that. And so we'll see what happens. We don't know what's gonna happen. I think that Joe Biden, he's barely hanging in there now. I don't know if he's really gonna run for re-election. I personally think that's a bad idea.
He has to say that he's going to.
Right, of course. But I do like that, look, was this really a leak? I mean, I have a feeling that the, Bernie team is maybe testing the waters, and I'm here for it, test the waters. I like the idea of having options other than we're just gonna have to support Biden, I guess, in 2024, Harris has no chance. Like, let's just, and honestly, at this point, how things are going, Biden doesn't really seem to have much of a chance. Like, it's not looking good for Biden. Were he to run, exactly.
Oh yeah, that's my fear, definitely.
So it's just stuff to think about. Again, there are no concrete, solid, predictions here. All we can really do is guess, but we'll see how it all plays out.